where Calgary is it, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And probably in your time, you're only '02, right?
yeah. On you too.
Okay. So obviously, and back in our day, like we didn't really have many agents or like many opportunities, and we had to like grind through it out to find out our own opportunities for ourselves. So the first question I want to ask you is, how did you get into footy, and how did you go through the ranks at Calgary and get to Highlanders?
Um, I think I kind of always liked footy when I was little, growing up. Both my brothers, they actually played, not professionally, but just for school, and yeah. So I think everyone in my family loves football.
Yeah.
So yeah, I started playing in Calgary when I was just younger, and from then on, I think when I was about like 15, 16, then I moved to BC because there was an academy there that were taking players in and just helping them like progress. And so after that, the coach actually was the coach that was of the academy was actually the coach of the Highlanders.
Yeah.
So he just brought me in and joined the team.
So did you get scouted to like BC, or did you just end up moving there with your family?
Uh no, I moved there by myself,
Okay.
like a homestay, but um to go to the academy though, it was like through my coach in Calgary. He knew the coach in BC, so they
Yeah.
just talked and he came and seen a couple training and yeah.
Okay, sick. And then moving on to the next question, what is your story from obviously from Highlanders and then getting all the way up to the FC Annecy in the second division of France?
Yeah, my story with that was I've actually I've been to Europe before. So my first time actually was in Germany where I signed for this fourth division team called Leipzig, Lokomotive Leipzig. And yeah, I was I was there for 2 years. I think it was a great experience for me. I was a young guy,
You were
18,
16 or 18? 18.
18, yeah. But from before doing that, I was just playing Highlanders, and I had a couple trials at Stuttgart and Hanover 96. And yeah, and then from then on, I mean, I couldn't join those teams because I wasn't 18 yet. But yeah, as soon as I turned 18, my my agent said to me, I think it would be better to play with the men's instead of playing U19.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, I think it was a good choice, good idea. And from then on, went on trial in Germany with this fourth division team. And yeah, I just was there 2 years, played, and then it wasn't, I don't know, I kind of wasn't really progressing as much as I would have wanted to. But
Yeah.
then came back to Calgary and played with the Cavalry for maybe not even a full season.
Mhm.
And, I was just doing my thing, doing what I do. And from then on, Calvary get uh, an offer for me to move to France and to play for Annecy in the second division. So yeah, I took the step in.
So Cavalry got you that deal.
Uh it was like the club in France were interested.
Oh, okay. So they reached out.
So yeah,
Okay. And then moving on to the next one, what would you say in your career has been like the biggest high or like I made it moment as well as the lowest? So like something that maybe you haven't really told anyone or just like something in your journey that most footballers or most people wouldn't even understand, like the things that you had to go through, like the deep.
uh for sure I would say um maybe don't rush your decision. As in what I mean by that is because when I went, I was injured.
Yeah.
So I went from always playing to not playing so much. So I'll say maybe I should have not went so early while I was injured, but I'm glad I did.
Yeah.
And also, I would say, yeah, like I mean, it's really tough, and for sure, it's tough. There's times where you're by yourself, you know, um, you just you know, you just have to you have to keep you have to keep you have to be positive, think of what your goal is really, like why are you really here? So I would say just be positive, come in and train hard, and but for sure I would say just everything you do, just try to be positive.
Mhm.
For sure.
I like that. And then what would you say is like the biggest I made it moment in like your football career?
uh as in I don't really understand this question.
So like as in let's just say maybe is it FC Annecy or Cavalry where like, you're starting to get paid and you're like
Oh,
the dream, you know what I mean? Like I made it as a professional.
uh I think I think I kind of realized that moment when I was 18, because I would say if you train good, you play good, you know, clubs are just gonna come.
Yeah.
So it was when I was 18, really. I was like, oh wow. After the trial, then they're like, okay, we want to offer you. Because for me, when I came there for the trial, I was just like, yeah, like I'm gonna try my best. And but then from then on, it just, yeah, I think that's what I felt like. Yeah, I made it.
Awesome. Let's move on. So, like, what would you say in your own words? Like, what is the reality of actually like making it as a professional footballer, especially when we're coming from Canada? As you know, most people don't really understand how hard it is. Like, what does it actually take? Especially coming out from Canada. We don't really have like those professional youth systems. Canada isn't really looked at by UEFA as like a very good country, in terms of talent. And like we know how hard it is. Like I've played in Europe, you have played at high levels too, like you've gotten there. So what would you say, like what's the reality? Like how hard it is to actually make it out of Canada?
For sure. I think it's very hard. Yeah, like you said, uh, Canada's not very looked at as much, but I feel like it's possible, but at the same time, I would say, it's really tough. And like there's times where it's like if you do end up on a team, um, maybe the coach is not gonna like you. So and and maybe you're not part of the plans, but you just you just have to just keep going.
Yeah.
But yeah, for sure.
Would you say there's not like many pathways for a professional, or sorry, for an aspiring professional in Canada?
Uh yeah, like now there's like League One Alberta, and I mean I think if I wasn't where I am right now, I think for sure I would I think I would start off by playing League One,
Yeah.
and possibly just just after that. I know there's that they do drafts, enter the drafts for schools. Yeah, do
Like
that.
youth sports too. Would you
Youth
recommend
sport.
a pathway for players?
Yeah, that's a really good one, because you could have a good season, and actually there was a player that played for UFC, had a good season. Now he plays with the Cavs. So that was, yeah.
Yeah, 'cause,
So
like especially being the first essentially virtual and physical worldwide agency with pro soccer context for both collegiate and professional opportunity, would you recommend players to come to us to look for an opportunity, whether it's for youth sports or NCAA D1? Because obviously there's so many routes that players can actually still make it pro. And some of those ways might be better to go to that university route because at least like let's just say you go right out of high school, you finish a 4 year degree and you're only 22. You're old enough to sign in Europe and you
Hmm.
had like 4 years of men's under your belt. Like, would you recommend players to go that route?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I would recommend it. I would say you can also go on trials in Europe. Um, it just, you know, trials are really good as well. Um, while I was at Annecy, there was like a couple players that came
Mm.
on trials, and I mean, for the club, the season was already going, so it was kind of not really a good time to come on trial. But yeah, I'd say,
Yeah, no, that's true. I think a player, like, even if you're in youth sports or in college or whatever, and you get a trial, you should always go. Like, try it out. Your school's going to support you. And even if you don't make it, you can still go back, right?
oh
So,
yeah.
probably the best thing. Have you ever met, seen, or played with, or against a footballer that was like absolutely world class and are known? If so, who was it, and what about them was so special?
Musa Diaby,
Oh, no way.
in a cup game. I think I think Jeremy Frimpong was there as well. Yeah, he was. Uh, that was against Bayer Leverkusen
Yeah.
in a cup game, and yeah, I would say we both play the same position. He's really rapid, quick. So I try to play like him a little bit, but the difference between me and him, I don't know. Like I didn't really see a difference. You know, we both play the same position, except he's left-footed, I'm right-footed. But yeah,
What would you say is like what what is so special about him that takes him to that, Bundesliga level?
I would say it's his speed.
Yes.
Speed. He's just quick.
Yeah.
His touch into space, and he just goes. He just takes players on no matter where he is. Really, he just feels so free, and so.
Okay.
But
That's sick. And then moving on to the last question, what is the future looking like for you as you're only 23 and still have a long, prosperous career ahead of you? Are you still looking to play in Europe or stay in North America closer to home?
right now, for sure, I want to go back to Europe, but I'm not really in a rush. So maybe stay in North America for a year or two and go back. So I'm not really in a rush, really. But yeah,
Awesome. And then, so with Pro Soccer Contacts, we are hosting like an ID showcase where we're bringing in a scout from Portugal from a first division club called Santa Clara, as well as, a bunch of universities and like colleges here in North America, like NCAA D1, as well as like U Sports. Um, could you just give like just a little message out to people that are possibly interested in coming just to say June 27th, 29th, hope to see you at the PSC Elite Camp.
okay. Uh, June 29th, I hope to see you at the PFC Elite Camp.
Awesome. Thank you, Goteh.
Thank you.
All right, see you, bro.
Bye.